Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Football Analytics. Today we're looking into the Champions League second leg fixtures, Aston Villa against PSG, Dortmund against Barcelona. We're going to figure out who the semifinalists are. We kind of already know, but still, let's give out the predictions. And before that, hit the thumbs up as usual on this video. Really appreciate your support, boys. Let's keep this channel growing. And obviously, let's check out what we have for the weekend. Was pretty smooth. 16 out of 19 for this weekend. We only had 3 losses, but some of you are still not happy. This one really pisses me off, honestly. Are you expecting for me to be Nostradamus or something? Because I can't get all of them, you know? Eventually there's going to be some losses. And that's why I say it's better to bet on single games. It's so tough to get accumulators, guys. If you put over 5 games, I consider that straight as a lottery. You are good in sports betting, but you're not like I will not get 10 out of 10 every single time. It happens. There's always that one game that's going to screw us. Okay, French League was perfect, 4-4-4. We had some difficult games there, but I'm telling you, right now, we have to make money on the desperate teams who are trying to get into the Champions League, to the European Cups, and also betting against the teams that are already relegated. There's really good odds. We did that with Angers against Montpellier. Montpellier is a dead team. Monza in Italy is a dead team. Southampton is a dead team. So those are the types of teams we really have to bank on the last few weeks. So it was 4-4-4. I'm giving you the goal market because I don't really give a shit about the outcomes. The outcomes are so tough to predict, guys. Anything can happen in 90 minutes, but we're trying to minimize our losses. We're trying to get a team to score. If you want to get the odds up, wait, hunt them down in the second half, past the 60th minute to get odds closer to 2, because there are some games that go there. You can write down 10 games that you like, and if few of them go past the 60th minute, these are the ones that you should be taking. But anyway, also take the over 1 goal market. Get a website that has it. Over 1 means if they score 1 goal, you get a refund straight. If they score 2 goals, you get higher odds and you win the bet. So anyway, so France was perfect. Then Serie A, Torino screwed us. It was actually some crazy shit happened at the end of the game. They scored past the 90th minute, but they canceled the goal. It was a type of Julian Alvarez situation against Real Madrid, where Biraghi, the player from Torino, he was crossing the ball, but he touched it twice. The freaking ball, and they went to VAR and canceled the goal. Otherwise, it would have been perfect. A lot of you said, like, for example, Lazio wouldn't be scoring against Rome. I told you, you have to watch the previous videos. We're always betting against the streaks. Lazio didn't score in the derby for 2 games in a row, and they are going to be scoring the 3rd one. And that's what we're trying to achieve on this betting channel, guys. I'm not giving you random picks. It's mostly about the streaks, the teams that are in form, the teams that are desperate. Anyway, so Serie A was 5 out of 6. Now, Premier League 4 out of 5. I guess this was only the bet that I didn't want to go for. I didn't feel confident. That was Nottingham because the bookies were cooking up something. Before the game, the market rose to 220, and Nottingham didn't freaking score. Everton is a really solid team, especially the under 2.5 games. They didn't win in a while, so maybe out of all the games, that was the one that shouldn't have gone through, and the bookies were right. Otherwise, Aston Villa, the odds were about 160 to win against Southampton. That's freaking free money, guys. They didn't score a penalty. The odds you could have grabbed really tasty ones. It was in the second half, and they scored 3 of them. And then Newcastle absolutely killed Man United. Liverpool did its job right at the end. They had to win the game. And Bundesliga was 3 out of 4. Again, Leverkusen, guys, I don't know what to tell you. The thinking behind this bet was simple. Leverkusen had to get points because that's their only competition they're left in. And if the previous 5 games they didn't lose the points that they were supposed to, they would have been in first place because Bayern still has the Champions League, and they also drew against Dortmund. So Leverkusen could have been 4 points away from them, but I knew it was going to be a tough game. Freaking Union Berlin is officially now on the blacklist again. I always lose money on Union Berlin. It is what it is. But otherwise, it was 3-4-4, 4-4-5, 5-4-6, 4-4-4. If you're not happy with those picks, guys, you can follow other channels. I don't know what's going to do better than that. But anyway, so that's why I recommend you to bet on single games instead of accumulators. It's impossible to get them all. Okay, so we're done with that. We're going to follow some of those teams for the next weekend. There's still some streaks happening, but that's for another time. Now, let's get into the Champions League. Let's start with Aston Villa PSG. Crucial game. The odds right now are dropping down a bit for Aston Villa. The money is going in there. 330 for Aston Villa win and 210 for PSG. That's about right, guys. The last time we went also smoothly on the Champions League, it was 3-4-4. The teams that needed to score won the games except Bayern. And the only one I didn't get was a Real Madrid goal. And I saw you trolls writing down, how could you not get a Real Madrid goal? But guys, they're in freaking crisis mode. You don't know what to expect right now from Real Madrid. And it was a shocker to me. Let's see what happens this this Wednesday, but we'll get to that in another video. So PSG at first, I think it was really huge that they got the goal on the 92nd minute against Aston Villa. That just turned around everything. I believe that Aston Villa could have still qualified if the game ended 2-1, but right now I think it gets tougher. 2-goal advantage for PSG right now. So look, we can go both ways here. First of all, let me show you the freaking streak that Aston Villa has. Let's go back. Look at Aston Villa at home. If we're going to go for the Aston Villa goal market, tell me what's not to like about that. In every single game, they're scoring. That means if they don't score a goal, that's going to be the first game in 15 of them. Like, look at that. And if they're scoring, they're usually scoring 2 goals. Like, look at that. And crazier far chart. Far chart, by the way, is basically streaks. You're asking me, what is far chart? Far chart is streaks. If a thing that doesn't happen for a while, it's supposed to happen in sports betting. Not always does. We've saw crazy streaks with Leicester and all that stuff. I can't think of all the other teams that had the crazy streaks going on. But Leicester was a crazy one, and they did score. Also, Chelsea not conceding 4 games in a row at home. They conceded against Ipswich. This is the far chart. Now, PSG, this is insane. I guess for elite teams, the far chart doesn't matter. Because look at it, we don't even have draws here. PSG is getting 3 points every single game away from home. This is insane. Absolutely, this streak is going to end soon. Will it end against Aston Villa? Let's see, guys. So, the over 1 market right now for Aston Villa is at 160, which is not bad. I believe because of their pride, they have to score 1 goal. Emery is such a solid coach when it comes to European Cups. And we've also known that PSG does tend to choke. Even back in the day with Neymar, Mbappe, they did choke Champions League games, so all eyes on them. But this is a different team. Luis Enrique built something special. They're a fast-paced, contract-attack team, and that's why I think they're going to bite Aston Villa in the ass, because once Aston Villa go all in attack mode, PSG is going to score at least 1 goal. The over 1 market is blocked, so this is the type of bet I would give you for live to hunt it down. If PSG doesn't score past the 65th minute, the odds are going to be closer to 2, and especially if Aston Villa scores 1 goal, I think the probability rises for PSG to score, because Aston Villa is going to risk even more. By the way, if it's 2-0 for Aston Villa, that's when you're not going to take the bet, because it's going to go to extra time. It's only a 2-goal lead. So my first tip for you guys is to go with the favorite. I'm not going to tell you to chase something, to chase the odds. I just want to tell you something that's right, and I believe that PSG is going to be scoring at least 1 goal. And if they don't, this game is not going to end 0-0. If they don't, that means Aston Villa is probably going to win this game. But let's see if it's 1-0 or 2-0. But I believe PSG is going to be scoring at least 1 goal, and probably they are going to qualify to the next phase and face the winner of Arsenal or Real Madrid, which we'll get to in the next video for the Wednesday's games. Okay, now for the second tip, let's move to Dortmund against Barcelona. I see this game playing out way different because, first of all, Barcelona already killed Dortmund 4-0, so they can play their game, because no way in hell Dortmund qualifies. Dortmund have been better in terms of goals. Besides the Barcelona game, they scored 2 against Bayern, 4 against Freiburg, 3 against Mainz, which are really solid teams, so they have been playing better. But 4-0 was a killer. And let me tell you something. I'm liking Barcelona here. First of all, the odds. Look at this. 183 is not bad, but we don't take the outcomes on this channel because the game could easily finish 2-2. The odds right now are dropping down on Dortmund from 433 to 390. But let me tell you why I'm liking a Barcelona goal easily here. Because first of all, besides the Dortmund game, cancel this thing out. But look at La Liga. They only scored once against Leganes. They scored only 1 against Betis. Then they scored 1 against Atletico. This is not the Barcelona of the previous games, how they've been balling out. Lately, they've been winning a lot of under games. So that's why I'm liking, again, for Barcelona to break through. I think they should stat pad this game. This game is also important. It's going to sound crazy. But for Rafinha, if he wants to get extra assists, extra goals, Lamine Yamal, because they are the favorites, especially Rafinha, to win the golden ball. And Barcelona, like, guys, they have the craziest streak right now in football. Besides PSG winning away, this is the craziest streak. I mean, they're winning every single game. So could this be a draw? We don't freaking know. We're chasing goals here. But I don't want to give you a riskier bet of to go with the Dortmund goal because they are still unpredictable. But guys, Barcelona is the best team in the world right now. And everybody would agree with that. And as an Inter fan, listen, first of all, we have to beat Bayern. So I'm not looking forward to Barcelona. But if we do beat Bayern, this might be a tough watch. I have no confidence in my team. But anyways, guys, I see a Barcelona goal here. It's simple as that, nothing too genius. So we are gonna have PSG and Barcelona in the semifinals, and PSG and Barcelona are gonna be scoring. Of course, if you want to play with a tastier odds, you want to do something special, you want a Dortmund goal, an Aston Villa goal, I would lean towards taking an Aston Villa goal. I believe there's still something to play for, and things can turn around really quickly if Aston Villa scores in the first half. And guys, make your own freaking predictions. I'll put that as noted. I want to hear your opinion about the Aston Villa PSG game and Dortmund Barcelona game, so I'm not the only one wrong on this channel. So these are my two picks. We're going to get into the more interesting games. I'm going to record the video tomorrow. So for now, it is what it is, guys. Good luck if you're going to be taking these bets. And remember to bet on the goal market and try to bet on single games, even if you're not taking my games. It is tough to win accumulators. It's like a lottery. So I'll see you in the next one. Hit a thumbs up on this channel, subscribe. Thanks a lot, and adios.